I am really curious about manufacturers who produce things for other manufacturers and what happens when these people, artists, engineers, are able to create something on their own. Now, in the stationery world, we have companies like Cthuhlu and Penlux that also are OEM manufacturers for other fountain pen makers, and they also produce their own pens. My experience is that companies that do this usually produce very high quality products at a much lower price. Two of the most well-known names in the pen world when it comes to fountain pen resins are Jonathan Brooks of Carolina Pen Company and Tim Crowe of Turnt Pen Company in New York. That's what we're looking at here today. I really like Tim's resins. I had no idea I had so many of his pens, but usually I must say I don't always buy a pen because of its price or its utility. A lot of the time I'll purchase a pen because it really strikes a note with me. I find it beautiful. I want to add it to my collection. And it turns out that quite a number of pens I had no idea are Turnt Pen Company resins. What we have here is a pen that just arrived. I haven't inked this up. I haven't pulled it out of the plastic yet. I did open the box to see what it looked like and what the packaging was. So I'm excited to share this with you because this will be the first time I'm actually going to use this pen. As I mentioned, it's based in New York. Turnt Pen Company is based in New York, and Tim is a really nice guy. I featured one of his pen resins in another recent video, and I'll put a link up here in the upper right-hand corner. That is for the Montgrappa Tarvisium, which was made with the Carson 32 resin, Carson being his son. This one here is Orwell 13, and its resin is called Bethel Gardens, and this is basically inspired by the Bethel Park in Pittsburgh, as I understand it. Tim was kind enough to fill me in a little bit on the background of the resin. It has been, I believe, used in a couple other pens. And don't want to show you that because it's got my address, but he put a nice note here. I don't know if this was written with this pen, and I don't know what color ink that is. I'm going to have to reach out to him. I kind of like that ink. I don't have very many greens, and they all seem to be sort of a forest green color. So this one here is kind of interesting. A little notebook here, field notes sort of a thing with a Turnt Pen Company sticker underneath this card. Nice. All recycled materials. And here is the pen in a plastic sleeve inside of a rickshaw pen sleeve here, which is a nice touch. So I'm going to set all this aside. Okay, so here is the pen sleeve. It just says Turnt Pen on both sides. It's canvas and pops open here at the end. And we can push the pen out. And here it is, Bethel Gardens. It's really gorgeous. Now, I have seen this pen before because it was listed on the website, and there were photos of this actual pen. I really like this occlusion here. That's very cool. Reminds me of the eye of Jupiter. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors, and it just the sheen that comes off of these. Let me see if I can get this in. So here is the pen, very close up. It's just so gorgeous. Now, as I mentioned, the model here is the Orwell. He names all of his pens after authors. So it comes open in 1 and about a half turn. We have a JoWo nib, number 6, plain. I opted for the fine. He also offers Osprey nibs in lieu of the JoWo nibs, and you can get those in, I don't know, it seemed like about 24 different grinds. This one comes here, the JoWo comes in the typical 5 or 6 grinds, everywhere from extra fine down to, I think, broad and 1 stub. This is a cartridge converter pen. Comes with a Schmidt. This is friction fitted, I think. Yes, friction fit. And it's a good fit too. All right, I'm going to check and see how many thread starts we have here. 1, 2, 3, 3. 3 thread starts, which seems about typical for most pen manufacturers I know. These are all made one at a time by hand on a lathe. And the price on this, by the way, is $175 plus shipping. If you wanted one of the more expensive nibs, that'll add to the cost of it, as well as purchasing the ebonite feed. There's an upcharge for that, and I think that was only $10. There's so much going on with this pen. I wasn't sure what ink I should use, but I think I'm going to settle on Wearingeul Call of the Cthuhlu, or Cthuhlu, or however you say that. It's an interesting ink. There's a lot going on in that ink as well. Some blues, some turquoise, some green, and of course the red sheen. As far as the writing characteristics go, it's typical of a JoWo nib. I think that the writing experience for the grip section was really quite nice. There's a small little bit of a waist in here with a slight rise towards the end, or a flaring if you prefer, of the grip section. And I found this really comfortable. I was choking down on it a lot, but that is my habit, and I need to get over that for longer writing sessions. I felt like this fits really well in my hand, given that it's not postable. I typically like a pen that's a little bit longer. I have larger size hands, but definitely very comfortable and definitely very workable. For people with normal size hands, I should say average size or medium size hands, I think that this is going to be just perfect for you. If you consider that this is a handmade pen for only $175 from the person who also made the resins, basically an auteur pen artist, I think this is just a really great bargain. If there's a downside to this pen, it's certainly not the price or the quality. It's going to be the availability. He doesn't make these in high quantities, and if you find one that's in a resin that you like, you should nab it because he doesn't take custom orders anymore. He likes to focus on essentially the resin side of his business and his family. And also, he's got a day job, and I respect that. So recently, a bunch of pens came out that I think that he had produced for the DC Pen Show. There was probably about a dozen that he had available. By the time I found out, all of them that I was interested in were already sold out, with the exception of this one. And so as soon as I saw it, I wound up grabbing it. I really love this pen. It's really gorgeous. And the Alumilite just feels so nice and so rich. Very much feels like a luxurious pen. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and be well.